Long ago, in the golden heart of West Africa, there was a village called Nyonda, known for its red earth that glowed like fire under the setting sun. The people of Nyonda were farmers, hunters, and weavers, and their laughter filled the air like birdsong after the rain. Life there was simple. Men rose before dawn to till their farms, and women sang by the riverside as they pounded yam and washed clothes in rhythm with the flowing water. Among these people lived a man named Olembe, a quiet farmer whose heart was gentler than the morning breeze. He was known for his kindness, his patience, and his love for peace. Olembe never raised his voice in anger and was always the first to help a neighbor in need. His late father used to say, "A man's strength is not in how loud he shouts, but in how long he can wait for the right time." Olembe had a younger brother named Bantu, whose heart burned with envy. Though they were brothers, they were as different as the sun and the shadow. Olembe's farm flourished each year, and his yam barns were full, while Bantu's land yielded little. Instead of learning from his brother, Bantu grew bitter. He often muttered, "Why should the gods favor Olembe more than me? We share the same blood." Their mother, Mama Lady, tried to keep peace between them. She would say, "My sons, jealousy is a fire that cooks its owner before the meal is ready." But Bantu never listened. In his heart, anger had already found a home. One dry season, when the harmattan wind blew dust through every crack and the rivers began to shrink, tragedy struck. One morning, Olembe went to his farm and found his yam barn burned to the ground. The smell of smoke and ashes filled the air. Everything he had worked for, gone. His heart broke, and tears rolled down his cheeks like the morning dew. Villagers gathered, whispering among themselves. Who could do such a thing to Olembe? They asked. But deep inside, Olembe knew. Only one man could hate him that much, his brother, Bantu. Days turned into weeks. Olembe said nothing. He did not accuse, he did not fight. He simply began again, clearing his land and planting new seeds. Some villagers mocked him, calling him a coward. But he would only smile and say, "The earth never stops growing because of one season of drought." Bantu, on the other hand, grew prouder each day. He strutted around the village, pretending not to know anything about the fire. But his peace was short-lived. His crops withered that year, eaten by worms and struck by drought. The people began to whisper that the gods were angry. Still, Bantu's heart remained blind with pride. Months later, Olembe's patience bore fruit. His farm flourished again, greener than ever. The rains returned, and with them came hope. But Bantu's jealousy flared once more. This time, he plotted something darker. One night, as the moon hung low and the crickets sang their endless song, Bantu crept into Olembe's goat pen and stole all his animals. The next morning, when Olembe discovered it, he sat in silence under the old iroko tree. His hands trembled, but not with anger, with sadness. He lifted his eyes to the sky and whispered, "Spirits of my ancestors, give me strength not to repay evil with evil." That afternoon, he went to Bantu's house. Villagers followed, expecting a fight. But Olembe surprised them all. He greeted his brother, bowed to him, and said softly, "Brother, I know what you have done. But I will not curse you. If my goats will bring you peace, let them be yours. May your heart find rest." The village went silent. Even Bantu was speechless. No one had ever spoken to him like that, with such calm, such grace. But instead of being ashamed, his pride hardened. "Keep your blessings to yourself," Bantu sneered. "I don't need pity from a weak man." Olembe smiled sadly and walked away. That night, Mama Lady wept. "My son," she said, "you have the patience of a saint. But how long will you endure?" Olembe replied, "Mother, The river does not stop flowing because someone throws stones into it. Years passed. The brothers grew older. Olembe's kindness continued to bless him, his crops flourished, his home prospered, and he became a respected elder. But Bantu's greed and bitterness ate away at him like termites in old wood. His farm failed, his goats died, and one by one, his friends abandoned him. Misfortune followed him like a shadow. Then came the year of the great famine. The rains failed completely. Rivers dried, and even the trees seemed to sigh with thirst. Hunger swept through Nyonda. People began to trade their goats, pots, and even their land for a few measures of grain. Bantu's house became empty. His wife left him. His children cried each night from hunger. Desperate, he swallowed his pride and went to Olembe's house one evening, weak and trembling. He found Olembe sitting under the same iroko tree, pounding millet with his sons. When Olembe saw him, he rose immediately and embraced him. "Brother," he said warmly, "you look weary. Come in, eat." He didn't ask questions, didn't mention the past. He called his wife, who brought food, roasted yam and palm oil, and placed it before Bantu. The hungry man ate in silence, tears mixing with the food. He couldn't speak. After he finished, Olembe brought out a small sack of grain and placed it before him. "Take this, brother. Feed your children. Tomorrow, come again. There's enough for both of us." Bantu broke down, falling to his knees. "Why?" he sobbed. "After all I've done to you, why would you still help me?" Olembe smiled gently. "Because anger never fills an empty stomach. But kindness can heal even a wounded heart." From that day, something changed in Bantu. Shame turned to repentance. He began to visit Olembe every morning, helping him on the farm, fetching water, and working quietly. The village noticed the change. They whispered, "The brothers are united again." And so it was. Months later, when the rains finally returned and the land turned green again, Bantu stood before the villagers during the annual festival. Tears filled his eyes as he spoke. "My people, I wronged my brother in every way. I burned his barn, stole his goats, cursed his name. But he never fought me. Instead, he fed me when I was hungry. He forgave me when I hated him. I now see that patience is not weakness, it is the strength of the gods themselves." The villagers cheered, moved by his words. They began to call Olembe, the heart of Nyonda. From that day, people came to him for counsel, for he had shown that true power is not in revenge, but in compassion. Years later, when Olembe passed away peacefully under that same iroko tree, the village mourned him deeply. Bantu wept the loudest. He built a shrine there and carved into the wood the words, "He who forgives conquers twice, first his enemy, then himself." And so the story of Olembe spread beyond Nyonda, to villages and towns far away. Parents told their children, "Be like Olembe, let patience be your strength, and kindness your shield. For though the winds of anger blow fiercely, only the calm heart stands unshaken."